Hello, 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 everyone. I'm with Mr. James Walker today. He's a new virtual training client. He's got a powerful testimony. This is what I was telling you about earlier. I told you to stay tuned for one of the most powerful testimonies I've ever heard in my life. And right now, without any further ado, I'm going to just let him take it away and tell you what's going on. Mr. James Walker, it's on you.
Hello, people. I'm really not supposed to be here, but God has made it possible for me to be here with you today. I've had so much going on in my life with illness that the average person would have gave up a long time ago. But let me just start from the beginning of where my illnesses start at. The first thing happened to me to send me down the road of a downward spiral was I tore my left Achilles tendon playing racquetball. That slowed me down a bit, but I had an excellent surgeon. This was up at Fort Drum, New York. They did surgery. It took a long time to heal. It was a complete rupture, but I was younger and I got around that. The next thing happened 10 years later. I tore my right Achilles tendon. It was misdiagnosed. They said it was a partial tear, but I knew what the left one felt like, and it felt the exact same. And they put it in a cast in the wrong position, and I almost lost that leg. I had so much pain from that leg, I begged them to take it off because nothing that they did. This was in June of 1990. They would not take it off, fearing that it would make me disabled for my life. But I found that there was so much pain. I was in and out of therapy for 2 years, and nothing they did worked. Finally, they gave up after a certain period of time went by, and they said, "Oh, you need to get a lawyer now." And no one would talk to me before this because it was all in the workers' comp. I got hurt on the job. And this one really set me up for major complications because they misdiagnosed it. And my blood pressure started going higher and higher because I was in so much pain. That was June of 90. Finally, in February of 1992, they did surgery. They went in and tried to correct what they misdiagnosed in 1990 as a partial tear when it was actually a complete rupture. That set me up to have, in November 92, my first heart attack. I had a blood clot in my left circumflex artery. They just did an angioplasty, no stent, no anything, and I was fine ever since then. But I was out of work for a while, and from there, walking in a bad position, like dragging a leg, it became so painful. I was at work. I was forced to go back to work before the leg had even healed. And that set me up to have a host of problems that it started just going downhill from there. Blood pressure escalating, and the leg were my major problems at that point. And then I went to another company and went to work at a different company. And that's how I hurt my back. I was doing a risk evaluation at a naval ordnance plant in Louisville, Kentucky. They were privatizing, selling off all the government stuff. And I climbed the ladder up the side of a boiler to get the nameplate information. My supervisor was right there. I came down on the ladder. There was a steel plate over a trench in the floor with a boiler drain, blow down. That plate gave way. My left leg was on the second last rung from the bottom of the ladder. My right leg went down with the plate falling down into the trench, and I was over my mid-thigh in water on the right side. My left leg was still hung up on the ladder, and so that wrenched my back. L4, L5, just, it took about 2 weeks to incapacitate me. And I didn't know what was really going on. My supervisor was right there with me. He never documented anything, but that's when my back problem started. So, long story short, I ended up losing that job, and I went on my wife's insurance on her job, and I had to change doctors and everything because she had a different insurance. And that's when I found out that this new doctor said, you have major kidney issues. And I had been going to my primary care all this time and everybody else, and they never said nothing. And so when this came about, he started sending me to specialists, and I didn't know it at the time that all the doctors all came from one university. I was living in southern Indiana. This was Louisville, Kentucky area. Most of the doctors in the Louisville, Kentucky area came from University of Louisville. They all have the same train of thought. Because I even went to the professor to get treated, and he had the same, what he taught, everybody had that same frame of mind. They were saying it was FSGS, which is focal glomerular sclerosis or whatever. But everywhere else I went for diagnosis, they said it was hypertension. And that's what caused my renal failure. I had to go as far as Mayo Clinic, Rochester, Minnesota, to find out what was really wrong with me. The doctors in Louisville were telling me I had 50% renal function left. By the time I got to Mayo, they told me you have 18% renal function left and you need to put a fistula in your arm right away. So they put the fistula in my arm. Same time they did a muscle biopsy to confirm or diagnose what this autoimmune disease that I had that was attacking my muscles. And I never had this before in my life, but all this developed all at the same time. And they called it inflammatory myopathy, which mean they thought it was first polymyositis, but the numbers kept coming back too low to be classified as polymyositis, so they diagnosed it as inflammatory myopathy. And there is no known cure, as they were telling me. And I also was diagnosed with fibromyalgia. And I'm saying, where's all this stuff coming from? And no one had any answers. No one had any answers as to what I could do to get better. But I was rapidly losing strength. And because of the renal failure, I was rapidly declining. It got to the point that all I did was lay in bed and I couldn't even lift my head off the pillow. My wife was getting frantic. She didn't know what to do. One day, she brought home some Boost energy drink, and that Boost got me up because she was just going nuts because I wouldn't eat. I didn't have no appetite. I thought I was a farmer. And Mayo Clinic put that fistula in May of 2007. October 2007, I started my dialysis. They had to let that fistula cure enough so they could use it because it's the Cadillac of access points. A lot of people you'll see have lumps and scars all up and down their arms, and that's because they put those grafts in. But a fistula is the best way to go if you have to do dialysis. I was unfortunately going to diabetes clinic. No, they were handling diabetes, a renal clinic, and they didn't believe in fistulas. So they clotted this off every time to keep me, I should say, to mess me up because they hated that I went to Mayo Clinic to find out what was wrong with me. So at every chance they had, they clotted this off 3 times. And my wife had to drive me all the way back to Rochester, Minnesota from the Louisville, Kentucky area for them to reopen this. And that set me up. They told me, you need to get away from this clinic. You need to get away from those doctors that you were seeing. And so I moved back home to Buffalo, New York in 2008. And I started doing my own home dialysis. I had a little portable machine. I would put my own needles in. And from there, I got on the transplant list. Now, it took me 5 years to get a transplant. My arm couldn't take the dialysis. This was very, very painful. And I found that each time I would get over one diagnosis, something else would occur, but I had no hope for help. The biggest thing I got was the kidney, and I thank God for that because it saved my life, and it's one of the best performing organs in my body, and I try to do whatever I can to protect it, but nobody looked at the underlying causes, which is why I'm with Mr. Johnson now, because this is helping me with all these other underlying causes and illnesses that I've had. And this is working for me finally. This is an investment in me so that I can continue to live. And if I can encourage anyone else to never stop seeking or looking for answers, and I found an answer in Mr. Johnson, and I'm going to tell you, this works. It works because I've tried everything. Even on my own, it doesn't work. Everybody needs help. We all don't have all of the answers, but we have to rely upon other people to give us answers to some of our problems. And I think this is the way God works through other people to get us where we need to be in life if we only give him some of our time and some in the utmost respect. So my illnesses have just kept coming. And throughout the illnesses, I've had 2 open heart surgeries. The first one was a 3 arteries. That one didn't take. So 6 months later, they went back in, they did a double. And that's the reason why I say I'm not supposed to be here, because I've had enough happen to me that the average person would have just stood his hand and say I'm through. But as long as this works, this is the key right here. This, with a strong heart and belief system, you can't lose. You can't lose. But the big thing that I'm really, really looking at is this training and this teaching that I'm getting from Mr. Kenneth Johnson. It's awesome. It's awesome because if you had saw me last week this time, I was a different person. I didn't even think I'd be here doing this, okay? And it's such a short period of time. And I think I said on one of my last um, interviews that I could not stand up, put on my socks, my underwear, my pants, my shoes. I couldn't do any of these things. After two sessions, I was able to stand up. My balance was okay. I was able to put my foot and leg in my socks, my underwear, and my pants. And I was shocked. I was shocked. You know, the things that I'm doing, yeah, I get a little sore, but the pain evaporates. The pain is not there. And that's the most important thing. I've dealt with pain for so long. You know, I thought pain was my best friend. I didn't know what life was to be pain free. I don't like taking drugs for pain. And I could not take any anti-inflammatory drugs, such as Motrin, Advil, or any of those types. Because of the kidney, I can't take any of that stuff. So I had to live with my pain 24/7, 365 days a year. And this has been going on since the early 90s.
Wow.
The early 90s. It's enough to kill your brain.
Wow.
But, you know, with what's coming from Mr. Kenneth Johnson, I feel like I'm going to conquer this. I'm going to kick it in the butt because they said it couldn't be done.
Wow.
And I'm seeing otherwise. Okay? So if I can encourage anybody who's feeling really, really bad, or you just want to feel better, investigate Mr. Johnson's. His protocol is everything he says it is. And you know what? Anything worth doing is not going to come easy, but you have to do your part. That's it. He lays it out for you. You got to have the courage and the willpower to do something about what's bothering you. And what made me decide to do this was because I am in the donut hole. I go in the donut hole every year before the February is out. And I'm taking so many medications that I can go to the drugstore to pick up my meds, and I may pick up one med, two med, three meds out of a laundry list, and I may spend $700-800 just for those three meds.
Wow.
Or even just one med.
Wow.
Okay? And I'm taking 14, 7, 21, 8, 29, 8, 37 pills a day?
Whew.
Yes.
Wow.
37 pills a day. Some of them I have to because of the transplant, anti-rejection drugs. But when the pharmacy plays games, or the pharmaceutical companies, when they play games with you and hold you hostage because they have the power in cahoots with the doctors, and it goes to the point that people can't afford. You know, they talk about this Obamacare, they want to repeal it, but all it takes is one catastrophic illness in your life or some member of your family's lives, and you're ruined. You're ruined. And all these people who say, hey, get rid of it, get rid of it. You know what? Give them the same coverage that they want to put on us. And then let's see how they feel about that. Because then they will hurry up and change things so that it's fair to everybody. Because one of my biggest fears was I had to pay Cobra when I first left Indiana to move back home to Buffalo. And my Cobra was running me $800 a month. That's just for me. I wasn't covering my wife. It was just for me. And the only way that I got a relief from that was because the insurance carrier that I brought here with me, they were not big in the area. So now I'm with the Big Blue. And it has been a blessing that I got in because I have pre-existing conditions. And when you have pre-existing conditions, you cannot get medical insurance. And that's the way they want to put it back on us. So this is an investment in me and in my future so that I can continue to live. And I want everybody to know you have to invest in yourself. And thank you, Mr. Johnson. I appreciate everything that you're doing for me.
Hey, I thank you for giving me the opportunity to help you. Now, I just want to ask a few quick questions. I can give a bit more detail. Now, when you're going through the exercise, well, let me ask you, when was the last time you felt some real pain since starting?
Since I started?
Yes, sir.
Probably the first day. Well, let me back up. I got sore after we did the second session.
Okay.
And that was to be expected because I hadn't done anything.
Right.
I have a semi-become an exercise bike. I get on that and I just get cardio out of that, but that doesn't do the whole body. Right. But I got sore, so I just did my breathing exercises Saturday and Sunday and yesterday, but by Sunday afternoon, Sunday, the soreness was gone because I went walking. I got active. I mean, normally I'd be just sitting doing nothing because it's hard to get up and move. It's painful to get up and move. You're grabbing your back, you're grabbing your hip, your feet hurt, everything hurts. But, you know, it's just surprising how what you taught me that pain, it just, you get a breather. And so far, this breather has been prolonged. And this is what's so amazing to me. The breathing and the exercises that you show me to do, it just makes the pain just take a back seat for a change. Because it was always front and center. I want to go do something. Nah, I don't feel like I'm sore. It hurts, you know. And thanks to Miss Adrian, I give her all the thanks in the world because I never would have met you. And she speaks so highly of you. And it's amazing to me that she tried to get me, six to 9 months ago. But my mental fog, I can't do this, I can't do that. But you know what? I got mad enough one day when I went to the drugstore. I have diabetic neuropathy in my feet, ankles, legs, hands. And 1 month I paid $81. The next month, after I got deeper into the donut hole, they wanted $350 for Lyrica. Wow. For a 30-day supply. And I told them, keep it.
Wow.
Keep it. Because this, I never know what I'm going to pay. Once you hit the donut hole, they just rip you any kind of way they can. So the biggest thing that I'm learning with you is most illnesses are nutritionally based.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And I have been doing research over the last year on this. And I have changed my eating habits, but it wasn't complete until I met you. Right. And now I have a method to conquer all this madness that's in my body. Okay. God wanted me to see this and experience this. And I'm experiencing, and I'm saying this is the best thing that I've ever did for myself in my life.
Wow.
It's the best. Even today, with our session today, it was, I got to see if I can do this. And I survived it. And I'm feeling great right now. I feel like I can go out and jump over a 10-foot fence. That's how good I feel.
Yeah, we'll get to that part next. That's next session.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Mr. Johnson, you're awesome. I thank you, brother, for the opportunity to do whatever I can, whatever you want me to do. If I had to speak in front of a crowd of people in person, I would do it because I want to be living proof of what you are putting out there as this is, I was so sick. And like I said, the kidney transplant got me back there, but it left everything else behind.
Right, right.
Now you have all that, and you're doing wonders with it. So you know what? I can't thank you enough.
Wow.
It's for real. It's for real.
I definitely appreciate that. I give God all the glory for helping me help other people, and finding methods that work, that's very efficient and give you pain free. Now, you say pain free. That's a powerful, powerful thing. And like we shared in the last video, you said you weren't able to pick your leg up over 11 years and get dressed.
Yeah.
And I mean that blew me away when you told me that. I was sitting at the store talking to you on my phone. I said, what, 11 years? You tell me 11 years you wasn't able to do this. And you said, that's correct. So that's power. That's powerful. Now I want you to explain to everyone what you feel like when you're doing this breathing exercise. What does your body feel like it's going through? What's going on inside your body?
When I was going through all that crap,
Yes, sir.
it felt like I didn't have anybody.
Okay.
It felt like I was a victim of all bad decisions, including my own, for putting so much trust in pills that this was the only thing that they offered here, or cut you or pills. You got a choice, being cut or take these pills.
Okay.
And my body felt like I was 90 to 100 years old, where my mind felt like I was still 25.
Wow.
And that's a terrible place to be.
Wow.
Because your mind tells you, yeah, you can do it, and you go to do something, and your body says, you better slow down.
Wow.
You better think about sitting back down or whatever. And that's very, very debilitating. I used to like, when I was single, going out and dancing, and that was a good form of exercise and relief for me. And after my legs went, that was it. Now I'm an old man, and I'm saying, whoa, I don't want to be tooling around and hover around. I want to get out and enjoy life. But, there's limitations on everything, but when your body is wrecked with pain and suffering, it has a tremendous impact on your brain. I sometimes would snap at my wife because she knew I was in pain, but sometimes she forget how much pain I was in. And there was no treatment for me because the kidneys has to filter everything, and there was no magic answer for anything until I met you.
Wow.
You're the magic.
Wow.
You got the ingredients to take a totally deconditioned body. I mean, that's what I was. I was totally deconditioned. I used to be Mr. Strong Guy. Now my wife brings home a jar of something from the store. She used to pass it to me. Open this. And, it's very humbling when you got to take that same jar. Honey, will you open this for me? That's how weak I got.
Yeah.
Not even to have the strength in my hands to open a jar of whatever.
Yeah.
It's just amazing how weak a person can get. You think that you're handling things correctly because your mind is there, but when you lose that physical strength, the most important thing in life is to have a sound mind and a sound body.
Right.
Without good health, you don't have anything.
Right.
And that's an answer that I can say, how did I feel? Since I did not have good health of the way that I wanted, I felt like almost like life was over.
Wow.
And that's a bad feeling to have, because when you can't do the little simple things in life, you have no life.
Wow.
And no one came along to show me how to get up and take my life back except for you.
Wow. Good. And that's a good point. Now, how do you feel right now, physically wise? How do you feel?
Energy wise,
Yes, sir. Physically wise. Do you have any pain? How do you feel right now?
mentally and physically, I feel like I've just erased today 30 years of bad life.
Whew.
And meaning I'm 65, almost 66. I feel like I'm somewhere between 30 and 35 years old, and I've got a little bit, well, not a little bit, but a lot more to go to get there. And I think I can do it. I think this magic, it turns back the clock. It turns back the clock. And that's the best way that I can explain this, the way it makes me feel, how my body feels right now. I feel like I was back in my early 30s.
Wow.
And yes, that's how energized I feel today as compared to feeling like 90.
Wow.
Okay.
Oof.
Now, I know it's going to take some more sweat and tears, but I know how it makes me feel, so I'm willing to walk the walk. If you have the patience with me, I'll get there. I promise you I'll get there. But, since I haven't done anything in so long, because I didn't have the answers, I didn't have the correct way of doing things. This makes a world of difference.
Wow.
So I would advise anybody, this is it. This is it. Uh, I've never had a trainer before. Um, but there comes a time in your life where you have to make a decision, and you have to invest in yourself. And see, when I was going to the drugstore, making those pharmacists all kind of money, I'm saying, boy, I'm making their day. If they had 100 customers come in and paying what I'm paying, whoa, they could be millionaires. But there was no investment in me. I was buying poison to try to stay here a little while longer and not feeling well. Whereas I reason this, if I take on this training, that's an investment in me. And it's going to make me feel a lot better than medication will. And it's going to pay me dividends down the road. And I might get another 20 years out of this kidney if I keep on doing what I've been doing, what they told me to do for that end of it. And now with the new end of it, I know I'll get another 20 years or more out of it. So that's how my body feels and how I can relate to what I'm doing. And I just feel so good about it.
Yes,
I don't have any qualms because you're not telling me or making me do things that's going to hurt me. You making me use my own body for relief.
right,
And that's what it's all about.
right.
That's what it's all about. Maybe one day I will be able to go out there and jump over a 10-foot fence. Who knows? But that's the way I feel.
Wow, wow,
That's the way I feel.
wow. Now we've been working together for a little less than a week.
Yeah.
Little less than a week, and already you've seen a big turnaround in your head. No pain, no pain.
Right.
You know,
Right.
maybe the pain, like you said, the pain from the physical exercise. Outside of that, there's no pain. The
No
pain,
pain.
the pain is on vacation right now. You know,
Yeah.
the pain's about to lose its passport.
Well, you know that old saying that they say, health, I think I got it right. Health is pain leaving the body. Okay? And it's gone. It's gone. And I know if I don't keep doing this, it's going to come back.
Right.
And I don't want to go back there.
Right.
I want to keep moving forward.
Right.
And I want to be the best that I can be. I want to take this weight off that just been dumped on me. And believe it or not, I never overate, but in learning about the different nutrition, acid versus alkaline, I understand all that now. And I learned how to read labels a long time ago, but the way it's broken down into what you're putting out there, hey, I can't lose with the stuff you use.
I
Okay?
like that.
And
I like that.
I'm going for it.
I like
I'm
that.
going for it.
I like that. I can't lose with the stuff you use. I like that's powerful.
Yeah.
Well, sir, listen.
Yeah.
And I prompted people to this testimony. I told them it's going to be a powerful, powerful testimony. So I'm sure when they hear this, it is going to blow them away. They're listening right now. As a matter of fact, to all of you who are listening right now to this powerful testimony, you know, maybe you're at work right now. Maybe you're online right now. Maybe you're doing something, but press play, sit back and relax. This is movie night, but this is based on a true story. This is based on something powerful, something real, something transformational, and you heard it straight from Mr. Walker himself. He said he feels as though he's turned back 30 to 35 years of bad health. He feels like he's in his 30s right now, and he's 60 years young. How powerful is that? I don't know about you, but I'm blown away. Mr. Walker, I want to thank you for that testimony. I want to thank you for sharing your time. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to help you and continue to help you and your family. And I heard you had your wife doing some push-ups too, or something like that, some breathing the other day. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah. She wanted to know what I'm doing to effect this change.
Okay.
So the only thing I could do was show her what I'm doing. She suffers from acid reflux real bad. Okay. And I always told her it's coming from what she eats.
Right.
She grew up on a farm. They raised all their own vegetables and their animals or whatever. But I told her she cannot continue to eat that way.
Right.
And because the food chain has added so much garbage and chemicals in it, you know, but she likes it. Okay. She likes it. So she wants to keep up with me now. I used to be the one out front, and now we go somewhere. I have to slow down. I can't keep up with you. And I want to get back to the day where, you know, I got to make her breathe.
Right.
Trying to keep up with me.
Right.
But she noticed the change already in my energy levels and the stuff that I'm able to do. I got an old house. There's a lot of work I want to do in it, but I've gotten the tools that I need to do it, but I haven't been able to because I don't have the strength. And the strength is coming. I can feel it's coming because when we go through a session, I can feel the blood pumping. I could feel like current flowing in my limbs. And I'm saying, whoa, I've never felt like this before. And if a person really wants to experience this, they need to get in touch with you. They need to say, hey, brother, what are you doing? How can someone that has so many illnesses and been so sick, how can they feel this way so quickly?
Yes.
And the answer is, you got to work for it.
Right.
You got to work for it. And you have the magic roadmap and the key to show them how to get there. And it's like I'm saying, when something works for me, I'll tell the whole world. Okay? I'm not afraid. I'm not bashful about saying what's good or what's not good. I tell it like it is. And that's what I like about you. You lay it out there and you say either you do this or you're going to go back.
Right.
That way. So, you leave it up to the person. You know what? And you know what you showing them is going to work.
Right.
You know that. And I know that now. I now know that what you say is going to work. So I'm following you,
Hey.
Sister Adrian feels the same way because you know what? She told me she don't want to lose me.
Yeah.
And my uncle,
Yes.
she doesn't want to lose me. And so she wants me to be around a little while longer, and I'm going to try my best to be there a little while longer because she had enough caring in her heart to share what she knew what was good and would be good for me. And that's A-okay with me.
Right.
A-okay. So that's my testimony.
Well, hey, we
If I can
appreciate.
help anybody, just let me know.
Hey, we appreciate it. I appreciate your time, your energy, your effort. And I'm going to quote a few things you said, that really hit me like a ton of bricks. Turn back 30 to 35 years of bad health. You feel like you're in your 30s again, physically and mentally, and the pain is gone. And, nobody had any answers. And right now, in less than a week, what you've been dealing with since the 90s, in less than a week, you got your life back, getting your life back.
Yeah.
So that's just a powerful testimony. I'm sure that's going to turn somebody's heart, turn somebody's mind. Say, you know what? Maybe I want to give this a shot too. Let me see what this thing is all about. So you're making a huge impact on the audience we have, and don't be surprised if people start to reach out to you, start asking some questions. That's part. They're going to want, hey, they want to verify stuff, but hey, this is verifiable. It's true. It's bona fide. It's the real deal. Like he said, if you're tired of living in pain from day to day, if you want something different, you're going to get off of medication. If you're tired of just waking up, going to sleep with no relief, that can happen. It happened very, 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 very fast, as you heard it straight from Mr. Walker. It's the real deal. Reach out to me, inbox me, call me, do whatever you have to do, and experience it for yourself. You will see that everything I've said and Mr. Walker has said is 100% absolutely true. It's up to you. You can stay in the situation you're in, or you can finally break free and live your life to its fullest. With that said, I want to say thank you for watching, taking this time to listen to this powerful testimony. And remember, no matter what happens in your life, keep it moving. God bless you. I will talk to you soon. Mr. Walker, thank you for your time. I'll see you, and we're going to keep it moving.
Right. All
Yes,
right.
sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Have a blessed day.
Same to you.